Welcome, everyone. I see that some of you have already introduced where you are tuning in from. So as you come on to this live, I encourage you to introduce yourself, maybe say where you're from. And I also want to welcome you all. Thank you for being here. And it is truly an honor to share the practice of Yoga Nidra with all of you. Today is in honor of the Equinox. And for those of you that are connecting in from the Southern Hemisphere, we are going into spring. And for those of you connecting in the Northern Hemisphere, we are entering into autumn. And the Equinox, I felt it would be a great way for us to explore neutrality and look into where we can find equanimity, neutrality within our lives and within our experience. For those of you who are just tuning in or maybe aren't familiar with Yoga Nidra or NSDR, this is a practice of deep rest. In our everyday life, there is a constant flow and things that are going on, and it can seem like the waves get a little tumultuous at times. And we're always looking for a way that we can find more peace or discover more peace. And rest is truly a window or a doorway into that. It's the practice of non-doing, of being. So when we find ourselves getting caught up in the wheel, then what we can allow ourselves to do to find deep rest is to lie down, tune into a Yoga Nidra, and just begin to relax the body. And the more that we begin to connect with the body, the more that we can begin to ease the mind. So I would love it if all of you could take a moment right now and just maybe place your hand on your heart or your belly. And if you feel comfortable, maybe even close the eyes. And from that space, allow for the shoulders to settle away from the neck and away from the ears. And notice where your body is touching a surface, whether your sit bones are in a chair or you're lying down. Notice the parts of you that are connected to the surface, to the earth and the grounding. And then begin to observe your breath. And see if you can check into the heart space. How is your heart feeling today? Perhaps this transition is bringing a sense of lightness. Perhaps it's bringing a sense of heaviness. And as you become aware of how the body is feeling, how the heart is feeling, allow yourself to just observe what comes up, whether it's a sensation, a feeling, or emotion, and allow for yourself to observe that experience, to witness what arises for you. There is no need to create a story or a narrative, just observing the body and the heart. And just take a moment to perhaps give yourself some compassion, or maybe enjoy that sensation if it feels uplifting or replenishing. And we'll do this again at the closing of the practice just to check in with ourselves. So take a deep inhale and exhale out through the mouth. And allow for your gaze to go towards the tip of your nose or towards the floor if you're sitting down. And then slowly begin to blink the eyes open. And notice how you're feeling in your body now. When we're going through these transitions of seasons or any kind of pivotal moment within the year, it can be a time of reflection, and it can also be a time of looking forward. When we think of spring, we're thinking of springing ahead, or if we're thinking about fall, there's this feeling of, kind of moving back, because summer has been a lot of the bright sun energy, and although it can be energizing, it can start to deplete us. And that's setting us up when we go through that transition to fall to really begin to settle into that stillness and more introspection. So wherever you might be in the world, it might have a bit of a different energy based on just your location, your geography, your where you are. And I thought that it would be really nice if you're not already working with a Sankalpa. And I'll just wheel back there. A Sankalpa in the practice of Yoga Nidra or NSDR is a heartfelt desire or intention that resonates with you deeply. And so for today, if you're not working with a Sankalpa, this I am declaration to self, I encourage you to use maybe one of the following, which is I am whole, or I am at peace, or I am resting, or simply I am. I am is a very powerful Sankalpa to use when you're just getting into the practice, or even if you've been doing it for a long time, because it just allows for you to really rest into the moment. So I am is a very beautiful Sankalpa that we can also use. And the beauty of sharing this in a group setting where there's many of us is it can create a frequency and energy. So thank you all so much for being here. And if you enjoyed today's Yoga Nidra, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already, or hit the like button, and maybe even share it with someone who might also be interested in exploring this practice as well. And I wanted to take a moment to share with you also that I am opening up enrollment again today to the Peace in Rest program. And for those of you who are just joining now or just explored Yoga Nidra and beyond here on YouTube, I have been working with people through the Peace and Rest program with helping to discover more equanimity, more neutrality. And as I said before, when we're in the busyness of life, there's this constant state of doing. And so moving into the practice of Yoga Nidra or NSDR, we allow ourselves to rest and digest. And the nervous system can begin to regulate. We can begin to rest more into the seat of the observer and less into the stories that are always coming up, all the thoughts that are naturally going to arise. And they will through your practice today as well. And so if you find yourself in a position where you're truly ready to explore this practice more deeply, explore your internal world more deeply, then I invite you to check that out. I will have a link to it in the show notes and the description, and you can find the Peace and Rest program at aylanova.com. So this is going to be a beautiful opportunity going into that fall season to really give yourself a chance to step into the seat of the observer and begin to become a director of your environment rather than a product of the environment. So thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. And let's get started with the Yoga Nidra practice. This is going to be about between 45 minutes to 55 minutes long. And we're going to be exploring into Mana Maya Kosha. When we're going into the equinox, this is a balance between lightness and darkness. And through Mana Maya Kosha, this is the emotional, mental part of the practice where we begin to feel those polarities and find that path between. So I really am looking forward to sharing this with all of you today. And if you haven't practiced Yoga Nidra before, all you'll need to do is find yourself in a comfortable position, lying down, either sitting in a recliner, or if you find that you fall asleep, you might want to sit yourself up a little bit, propped up with some pillows. And I just invite you now to find that comfortable position for yourself. So, getting yourself nice and comfy, and what you'll be doing is lying in what is in Sanskrit Shavasana. Shavasana is lying down with your arms naturally by your sides, with your palms facing skyward and your legs comfortably apart. And I'll give you a few moments to get yourself settled in. It's so lovely to see all of you connecting from different parts of the world. I saw someone connecting from Greece, Iceland, Canada, here where I live, New York. Beautiful. And happy Equinox to all of you as well. So wherever you may be, make a few little adjustments if you need to just get yourself a little bit more comfortable. And before we settle into this practice, just take a deep inhale through the nose. And exhale, maybe even noticing an audible sigh as you exhale. We'll do this 2 more times. So deep inhale. Feel breath going into the whole body. And exhale, release, let go of any tension you might be feeling. Deep inhale. Feel the collarbones expand. And exhale out through the mouth as you release. Make a solemn vow to yourself in this moment. I will remain rested, yet aware, through the practice of Yoga Nidra. I will remain rested, yet aware, through the practice of Yoga Nidra. And the practice of Yoga Nidra begins now. Begin to notice your body, where you rest within the room, and the walls around you, the surface beneath you, and the air around you. Feel the settling into the backside of the body. Noticing a broadening through the collarbones. And a softness around the eyes. As you begin to place the awareness onto your breath. And you may notice that as your awareness moves to the breath, there might be a desire to shift it. There is no need to manipulate your breath in any way. But as you observe it, sense yourself relax deeper into that breath, softening into your breath. And expand your awareness not only to how you sense the breath through the nostrils or the lungs or the belly, maybe even observing how you can sense breathing into every pore of the body. And begin to blend this awareness of your breath into a whole felt sensation. A whole felt sensation of awareness, of being, of breathing. Perhaps recognizing the energy that you have at this very moment. And with compassionate awareness, allow for your attention to move towards the space of the heart. All of your senses, your hearing, the taste within the mouth, the sensation on your skin, all of these senses begin to move internal and land right at the heart. And as your awareness lands on the heart, connect this space to the mind's eye, the space seated between the brows. And when you connect this space, you create a coherency, a heart and mind coherency, allowing for the heart to send a message to the mind of what it is that draws you into the practice of Yoga Nidra in this very moment. In this moment, there is no problem to solve. There is nowhere else to be. You are connecting with the heart and the mind. And within this space, allow for your sankalpa, your heartfelt desire to emerge. This declaration of I am that resonates deeply. Open these two energetic centers for this resolve to appear. What has brought you to this moment? And repeat your sankalpa now 3 times. Repeating it internally so that you can feel it into your whole body, to every pore of your skin, to every cell within, into the marrow of your bones. Repeat this sankalpa 3 times. Feel the vibration of these words. Feel their frequency, their energy. And allow for that vibration to extend out beyond the body, past the corners of the room, until eventually the energy within becomes completely still, still and aware, knowing and trusting you will return to your Sankalpa at the closing of your practice. You are now moving into Annamaya Kosha, the rotation of consciousness. Allow for my voice to become your voice as you are guided through energetic points throughout the body, the physical body. You may notice as you move through this awareness the need to release energy, perhaps through a yawn, a sigh with the breath, perhaps swallowing. These are all natural experiences as you move through Annamaya Kosha. If you sense yourself drifting away or losing your place, return back to my voice, releasing the inner dialogue and listening deeply with your whole body. Awareness landing now onto the right hand thumb. Right hand thumb. Right hand thumb. Index finger. Middle finger. Ring finger. Little finger. Back of the hand. Palm of the hand. The whole right hand. Wrist. Forearm. Elbow. Upper arm. Right shoulder. And the pit of the throat. The pit of the throat. And the pit of the throat. Center of the chest. Right side of the chest. Navel. Right side body. And the space below the navel. And the pubic bone. The right hip. And the crease of the right leg. The upper leg. Knee. And lower leg. Ankle. And the whole right leg. Towards the sole of the foot. On the top of the foot. Aware of the right big toe. Second toe. Third toe. Fourth toe. Little toe. All your right toes. Right toes. Right toes. Awareness now traveling up your right leg, the right side body, right arm, right hand, and the tips of your fingers. Rotate your consciousness now to the left hand thumb. The left hand thumb. Left hand thumb. Index finger. Middle finger. Ring finger. Little finger. Back of the hand. Palm of the hand. Whole left hand. Wrist. Forearm. Elbow. Upper arm. Shoulder. Left shoulder. The whole left arm. Aware of the collarbones, the pit of the throat. The center of the chest. The left side of the chest. The navel. Left side body. The space below the navel. The pubic bone. Left hip. Left hip. Left hip. The upper leg. Knee. Lower leg. Your ankle. The whole left leg. The sole of the foot. The top of the foot. Left big toe. Second toe. Third toe. Fourth toe. Little toe. All of the left toes. Left toes. Left toes. From the left toes, your awareness moves up your left leg, side body, left arm, hand, tips of the fingers. Become aware of the tips of the fingers, the tips of the toes, the crown of your head. Aware of the crown of your head, a sense of ease and release washing over the forehead, eyebrows, eyelids, the orbs of the eyes, aware of your temples, your ears, the right ear, the left ear, and the space between the ears, and the space between the brows, the tip of the nose, both nostrils, both cheeks, the base of your ears, along the jaw to the point of the chin, the lower lip, the upper lip, both lips together, your whole face, and softening this awareness to the back of the head, down the neck, along your shoulders, your shoulder blades, the back of the arms, the elbows, the back of the hands, tracing back up the arms to your shoulder blades, your whole spine, aware of each vertebra as you move down from the neck, the upper back, mid back, and lower back to your tailbone. Aware of both glutes, and the backs of your legs, the calves, your heels, sensing your whole back body. And now your whole front body, your whole back body, your whole front body. Become aware of the back and the front, oscillating between the back side of the body and the front side of the body. And become aware now of your whole body. Blending the awareness of the front and back side of the body into a whole felt experience of your whole body. Whole body awareness. Whole body awareness. You are now entering into the energetic body, aware of the presence of your physical, and now tapping into the sensation of your energy, noticing your breath through pranamaya kosha. A vital life force energy within you and all around you. Through the access of awareness of your breathing, begin to observe your breath, noticing a rise of the belly, the chest, as you inhale, and aware of the descent of the belly and the chest as you exhale. Inhale, sensing the expansion. Exhale, feeling release. And as you begin to observe your breath, notice the subtle pause between the inhale and the exhale. Just observing the pause between the inhale and the exhale. The subtle pause. Very, very subtle. And in this transition between your inhale and exhale, land your awareness into that space. And as you observe this in between, this pause between the inhale and exhale, begin to count down from the number 22. Inhaling, pause, 22. Exhaling, subtle pause, 21. Inhaling, subtle pause, 20. Exhaling, subtle pause, 19. Continue counting down your breath. If you lose your place, begin again at 22, all the way to 0. You'll be called back in a few moments. Continue counting down the pauses between the breath. If you make your way to 0, begin again. Release any desire to make it to a particular destination. Simply observe the space between the exhale and inhale as you count down your breath. And start again if you reach 0. On your next exhale, let go of where you may have landed and return to my voice as you move through Yoga Nidra. You are now moving from the pranic body into the energetic and mental space of your emotions. This awareness is Manamaya Kosha, a fluid space of equanimity where you are in harmony with all opposing forces. Rest into the space of the observer as you begin to explore your human experience. Arrive at a neutral space within and begin to experience the sensation of heaviness. Become aware of heaviness within yourself. Noticing yourself become heavier and heavier. Aware of what sensations, emotions, and feelings arise through heaviness. 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 Release any story. Observe heaviness within yourself. Begin to release, returning to a space of neutrality as you begin to explore lightness within yourself. Observe lightness, perhaps as a feeling, a sensation, or memory. Observing lightness within. Lightness. 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 Observe yourself becoming lighter. And now return to the experience of heaviness. Feeling heaviness return. And oscillating the awareness back to lightness. And begin to feel that oscillation of lightness to heaviness. Going back and forth. Lightness, heaviness, heaviness, lightness. Begin to allow both of these experiences now to coexist within this moment. Return to a space of neutrality. And now observe the sensation of heat. Noticing your body, your energy, through the sensations of heat. Feeling yourself become hot. Noticing where in the body you feel hot. Observing, witnessing any emotion, thought, feeling, or sensation that arises. Releasing any attachment as you experience heat, heat, heat. Return to a space of neutrality now. As you begin to explore your awareness of where you are cold, aware of coolness within, perhaps sensed as an emotion, a feeling, a memory. Observe coolness within, allowing for it to become colder and colder as you experience coolness, coolness, coolness. Now allow for the heat to return. And begin to oscillate back and forth between the experience of heat and coolness within. Coolness and heat, heat and coolness. Until eventually they become one sensation, returning you to a space of neutrality, releasing any thoughts, memories, or sensations. As you now begin to experience joy, notice joy within. From the seat of the witness, observe any feelings, sensations, observing any thoughts that arise. Without diving into a story or a narrative, experience joy. 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 Perhaps even becoming aware of the corners of your lips as you experience joy. Return to a neutral space, releasing any residual experience. As you now begin to observe within yourself the sensation, the experience of sadness. Notice sadness within yourself. Notice where it is located. Perhaps there is a memory or a feeling you associate with sadness. Without any story or narrative, observe this experience of sadness. 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 And now allow for joy to return. Noticing the points of sensation where you experience joy in reference to where you experience sadness. Move back and forth between these two points of awareness, or perhaps one point of awareness. Sensing joy, sensing sadness, returning to joy, returning to sadness, until eventually You allow for both experiences to be held as one whole experience. Hold this observation in your awareness, sensing how this space of neutrality between sadness and joy can be experienced in your whole body. Noticing a sense of equanimity within your whole body. Aware of peace within your whole body. Whole body. Begin to release any residual sensation as you now bring your awareness to the clearing between the brows, your inner wisdom through Vijnana Maya Kosha. As you rest here, remain within the space of observation, feeling and sensing your experience without attachment. As your gaze moves towards the clearing between the brows, allow for a screen to expand into your peripheries as images, sensations, feelings arise. Knowing that all that has the nature to arise has the nature to pass away. A goblet filled past the brim. The root chakra. The morning sun. A sound wave. The strings of a guitar. A ruby held up to sunlight. The sun setting. The sun setting. The sun setting. A joker. A tumbleweed in an empty street. And the tops of trees. A full moon eclipse. A snowflake landing on your tongue. An hourglass. The crown chakra. A butterfly freed from the cocoon. Freed from the cocoon. Freed from the cocoon. Float your awareness from the tips of your toes to the crown of your head, stretching your awareness to your fingers, your toes, and the crown of your head. Sensing your body in whole awareness, full awareness. Your whole body sensing itself. Aware of the darkness within. Explore into the depths of your darkness here. Keep exploring into your darkness. Exploring the spaciousness of your darkness. And the deeper you go, the more you begin to feel a pull. And this pull is to remind you of your lightness. The lightness you may have turned away from. Sense yourself energetically turn towards your lightness. Feeling this lightness expand to all of the edges of your body. A lightness that shines through you completely. Take a moment to appreciate all of these aspects of yourself. Knowing that without darkness, you cannot experience your lightness. Without diving into the stories or the narratives at play. Notice if you can expand a sense of gratitude, a sense of compassion, a sense of loving awareness. Loving awareness for the darkness and lightness that is within you. Take a moment here, resting into this gratitude. Of both the lightness and the darkness that you contain. Notice if there's any part of you that continues to feel stuck in this darkness. And give yourself a moment to acknowledge and see this part of yourself. This is your opportunity to hold space, to allow for that experience to be seen, to be observed, to be witnessed and heard. And surround this aspect of yourself with loving awareness through a bright, shining light. And share with this part of yourself your sankalpa. Repeat it into the darkness 3 times, declaring it loud and true for your internal world to express it into your external. I am. Allow for yourself to resonate within this truth. Ananda Maya Kosha. And gradually now, return from your journey, landing back into your body, becoming aware of your breath, aware of the depth of your breath, expanding you back into awareness of the room that you rest in, on the surface below you. Become aware you are in a familiar place, surrounded by everything you have designed for yourself. Rest here for a moment, orienting yourself back into the room, in this plane of existence. Noticing your skin, how the air rests on it, and your face, how peace is placed on it, and your heart, how it beats life, love, and acceptance. You are loved just as you are. And the practice of Yoga Nidra is now complete. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hariom Tat Sat. Hariom Tat Sat. Begin to flutter the fingers and the toes, rotating the ankles and the wrists. You can interlace the fingers, extend the arms up overhead. Maybe pointing the toes, feeling a whole lengthening through your whole body. And draw your knees in towards your chest. And giving them a little bit of a squeeze as you roll off onto your side. You can take a moment as you rest into the fetal position, this form of the body that brought you into existence. And perhaps place your hand again onto your heart. Noticing your body and noticing your breath. And checking in with yourself how you are feeling now. If you feel as though there's anything left to release, you can take this moment to feel into those sensations or residual experience and create loving compassion and support for yourself. You can do this through journaling, through continued meditation, or by taking a moment to sense something you are grateful for. Take as long as you like, and when you're ready, you can come back up into seated. And I want to thank you all for taking this time out of your day, your evening, to practice Yoga Nidra and to connect from all of this beautiful energy around the world during the equinox. Really sense a beautiful level of balance between the Northern and Southern Hemisphere today. And if you have any questions, I'll remain on here for a few moments to answer anything that you might be wondering about through the practice. And yeah, I'm just so grateful to be able to share this experience with all of you. If you would like to share this practice with another, you can do so on YouTube here. Make sure to like the video once it's uploaded and even leave a comment maybe about how you're going to restore balance during this equinox. So just an opportunity to see where you can discover more balance within your waking life. You know, Yoga Nidra is somewhere we can begin to discover rest and non-doing. And how can we bring that level of awareness into our waking life? Hi, Jeanette. And nice to see you here as well, Vala. Some members from the Peace and Rest program. And again, if you would like to explore the Peace and Rest program, you can go to aylanova.com. All right, well, it's been lovely connecting with all of you. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your evening, and I look forward to connecting with you all again soon. Rest well, be well. Namaskar.